what are the objectives for the module, and then a breakdown almost minute by minute. Now remember, you're an instructional designer. Once you design your course, it'll probably be implemented by someone else, and you want to provide them with all the resources they need to conduct this course without you being present. So you're going to give as much information as you can in this particular document. So once you lay out an overview of what the schedule is for the day, you will then start building on that particular module. So you have the lesson plan content, instructional strategy, and PowerPoint handouts. Now, these are just suggestions. You don't have to do the same thing. You have flexibility in how you want to do it. But things like the resources that are required, how the class is set up, the learning objectives again. And now we go into what happens step by step. Within these 5 minutes, what do I do? Within the next 10 minutes, what do I do? This kind of lesson planning is something teachers in the K-12 environment know all too well. Unfortunately, in higher education and as instructional designers, a lot of times we don't focus on this, and many times no one knows how to do it or why we do it. So you want to give this kind of a breakdown and clearly explain what is happening over there. This one is a very detailed, there are a lot of slides. Now remember, think about the time break up as well. Now if this is 8:47 to 9:40, if it's a 1 hour gap, then how much can you cover in that 1 hour? It is not necessary that you just put in 100 slides over there. Think of what you're trying to do and can you accomplish it successfully. The end goal is the learner. Have they learned what you want them to? Because that is the end goal of all training. It comes down to evaluation and assessment. So this instructional guide by this particular instructional uprising is a really good example for you to look at and review. Having said that, our particular requirement is a little different in that you will create that kind of a breakdown and information for a face-to-face module. You'll also do the same thing for an online module, a fully online module. So let's take the case of that workshop where we're talking about, I'm just scrolling up to the beginning of, okay. So when you say welcome and learning objectives and it says slide 1, now you might have had slide 1 for your face-to-face. You can use the same slide for your online module as well. But how are you going to convey that information to the reader? Because now it's online. Are you going to have a voiceover, or is it going to be a recording of a person conducting this? Think about that, and that's how you're going to make it. Or you can come up with something completely creative, and that's wonderful as well. So the reason behind this is I want you to look at two completely different formats of instructional design. Face-to-face is a one component and e-learning is the other component. Both are become face-to-face is the traditional one and e-learning is gaining popularity. And it is a skill that you need to have. And as we go through this course as students and reading through theories, you realize that e-learning has different requirements. So I want you to test that out and see how much of a change you have to make when you're converting your face-to-face content into e-learning content. And finally, for your task, I also want an assessment. So it's a module, you're teaching them these 3 or 4 learning objectives. What is the assessment for that particular module? How do you assess their learning? Because at the end of the day, all employers want to know, have you met the target? Do my employees know what they came in for? When students leave, have they mastered the skills that they came in for? So assessment is a key factor. You need to create an assessment as well.